Hello and welcome to Premodern Pink Prison, the prison deck that's trying to stop our opponent from playing things by keeping them under a Winter Orb. We can tap down the land they untap with Richland Port and stop them from playing new stuff with Sphere of Resistance. This deck is also super nasty because it has Devastating Dreams. This card is absolutely brutal. We have to discard cards at random, but we don't really care most of the time because we can just destroy everything that's in play, and it's very hard for opponents to recover from this. And of course we need cards in our hand to discard, so land tax will help us to do that. This is the all-around engine of our deck, and it really helps everything to work. We use Mox Diamond and Undiscovered Paradise to just help abuse land tax. Mox Diamonds are expensive, but unfortunately you really do need them for this deck. Land tax and Scroll Rack are absolutely crazy together. We can tutor for 3 lands, then draw 3, put the lands on top, shuffle them away again, and rinse repeat every turn. So this deck has some crazy card draw capabilities. We also have a full 8 copies of these tutors because we really rely on getting our engine going, and these can fetch pretty much any piece that we need. This also means we can play silver bullets, such as Zuran Orb to gain life and help with land tax, Seismic Assault as a win condition or to kill the creatures, Aura of Silence as a disenchant that also locks them out, and Humility, of course, for humility. It's also worth noting that most of these decks do play either Black Vice or Seismic Assault, but not usually both. For removal, we're playing Swords to Plowshares and Abolish. Abolish is a great disenchant effect with land tax, where we're getting tons of planes in our hand, and we can just discard one and play it for free. We're also playing 2 copies of Gaia's Blessing. This card is awesome because with Scroll Rack and land tax going off, we can really find those cards that we shuffle in so much easier. And it also gives us the bonus that in these really long games, we can't ever die to decking. Most decks only play 2 cards out of the 60 for win conditions because it's a very slow and grindy deck, and when we lock them out, they're just locked out, that's it. The most common one is Black Vice, and then probably Seismic Assault. I've also seen Goblin Trenches, Gigapede, and Form of the Dragon. It's really up to you, but definitely I think Black Vice and Seismic Assault are the most common. As a land tax deck, we're of course playing lots and lots of basic lands. We're also playing Richland Port, as I mentioned before, to tap our opponent's stuff down and keep them in prison. We're playing Undiscovered Paradise, of course, as I mentioned, is amazing with land tax. And Mox Diamond, also great with land tax, and it helps us to splash all of those extra colours. Typical sideboards play lots of 1-ofs and 2-ofs because of all the tutors in our main deck. Pyroclasm is one of the only cards you'll probably see more than 2 of. When playing this deck, you're essentially trying to assemble the lock that I've got on screen. When you have Mox Diamond and Richland Port working together with a Winter Orb, effectively they can never untap anything, and this just allows you to build up your resources, of course with land tax helping you to search for anything you need until you can finally hit that Devastating Dreams and just absolutely blow them out and kill all their stuff. Playing against this deck can be tricky. In the early game, if they have a land tax, I try not to trigger it and just wait for my mana cheating cards if I have any. If you don't, then of course you're just going to have to play into the land tax, which is rough. You can also use Wastelands to take out your own lands, meaning you can drop your land count and try and turn that land tax off. Devastating Dreams is also a card that you have to always be aware of. It can absolutely wreck you, so that means holding extra lands in hand, perhaps not cracking fetch lands, and always keeping counter magic up or discarding it if you can see it in their hand. When fighting the deck, Sacred Ground is good against Devastating Dreams, and Sabo's Web and Teferi's Response are great against Richland Port. Keeping the permanents in play against all the disenchant effects is hard. But also Energy Flux, if you can keep it in play, is really good against all their artifact shenanigans. Some deck types are also naturally resistant to Pink Prison, such as burn decks that can fire off burn at instant speed in response to ports, or fast combo decks that cheat on mana and don't really care about Devastating Dreams. So this is technically a prison deck, but I'm just going to put control here because I don't want to make a new one of these. Against aggro and combo decks, you're probably just going to want to take out all of their land whenever you can and just destroy everything. Against control, because you need to discard cards as an additional cost, you'll want to play around counter magic. So the strengths, it has a very unique playstyle that is difficult to attack with main decks. Most main decks don't have too many disenchant effects. It has redundancy in a lot of the cards do kind of similar things, and it can get free wins with Devastating Dreams. The weaknesses are burn and really fast combo, and the deck does rely on land tax and Mox Diamond quite a lot. So here's an example list. There's not really too much to play around with this deck. They do tend to be extremely similar in the main decks. And of course, I always recommend you check out TC decks. If you like this video, please do like, comment, subscribe. Thank you, and bye bye.